All right, welcome back, my dear students. So let's go ahead and start abstracting our attributes. The first thing that we want to do is actually grab our object properties. So we are going to be actually using part of this has attribute method right here. All right. So hopefully you're having a great day. Today is a really good day because you are going to be learning something super valuable right now. All right. We're going to be able to actually grab our methods and use it with any other classes. So let's go ahead and start this real quick before we get into more speaking, right? So let's actually use this method, and we can call it whatever we want. I'm just gonna call it properties because that makes sense, right? We are going to be pulling out all the properties. All right. So we already have this here. I'm just gonna use that and return it. All right, so whenever we call this method right here, we are going to get all the object properties back. And that means we are going to be getting the last name, the first name, password, username, ID, and all that on that specific method right here. All right, so what we want to do is we want to come to create, and let me just do it right under here, and hold that, all those properties, I'm going to hold it in this variable. So I'm just going to call this method right here, properties. All right, and when I call this method, it's going to return all the object properties. All right, so the next step that we want to do is actually I want to use two functions. One is going to be implode because I want to separate the values like it's separated right here. And the other one is array keys because I want to pull out the keys of that array. All right, and pull them right here. And of course, the keys are going to be the username, the password, and the first name. Remember that what we're doing is getting the keys right here, and then we are going to be getting the values later on. But right now we're concentrating on getting these keys. All right, that's what our properties array is going to have. All right, so keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all this. All right, and I'm going to concatenate. All right, this here and this here. Right there. I'm just going to take this apart right there so that way you can understand exactly what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just concatenating the parentheses there because I'm going to be using a function right here called implode, and I just told you about right there. And what we are going to be imploding is this array, this associative array right here. All right, now we are actually not going to be imploding we are going to be using another function inside here, which is actually a better way of doing this. And because I want to not only separate the values, but I also want to pull out the keys. So we're just going to put another function right in here called array keys. All right, and then we put the array in the middle there. All right, inside. So with the implode function, since we are inside the implode, we can use another parameter, and that's going to be the item in which the values or the keys are going to be divided. All right, too. So this first parameter, if you know the implode function, then you know what I'm explaining here. If not, just go ahead and play around with it, make an array, associative array, and use it. The first parameter is going to divide each of the keys that we're pulling out from this array. All right, and I'm just gonna put a comma right here. All right, so hopefully you understand what we are doing here. We are imploding, meaning that we're separating each value with a comma, and then we are using the array keys to pull out the keys of the array, and the keys are this right here, the passwords right here, the username, password, first name, and last name. All right, so later on we are going to be, let me just go down to that line. Later on we are going to be abstracting this here, which are going to be the values. So if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead and do it, because basically we are going to be doing the same thing, but we are going to be using a function called array values down here. So that's a little challenge for you if you want to go ahead and do that. All right, so in the next lecture we are going to do that, and if you have any questions, I'm here to support you all the way. Don't feel bad when you ask me a question. You can always email me to support@edwindiaz.com, or just open a discussion. You know, no question is bad or dumb or anything like that. Every question is, everybody's having an issue with something, so don't feel bad. All right, so anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next lecture.